A Tulsa man is suing the president. Why he says he was used in a campaign ad without his permission.
City leaders consider a mask mandate in Broken Arrow as we deal with a record number of hospitalizations. What decision they made last night.
We're hearing from those involved in the search for victims of the Tulsa race massacre. What else they were able to recover besides human remains.
Covering news that matters. Fox 23 News This Morning starts right now.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Lynn.
And I'm Ron Terrell. It is 4:30.
More lawsuits coming out as the presidential race continues to inch forward. The Associated Press updated this electoral map as votes continue to come in. This morning, Democrat Joe Biden inches closer to 270 electoral votes. He's at 264. President Trump is coming in with 214.
5 states are still waiting on their final counts, with Joe Biden relying heavily on Nevada to clinch the presidency. We will break down how things developed overnight in just a moment. But first, more nice temperatures are ahead of us today. Meteorologist Michael Sager is in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center tracking another nice start.
Yeah, we've got a great one in store for today. If you are stepping outside this morning, most of us seeing some 50s, but some of those favorite cool spots have dropped off into the 40s. How much warmer we might get compared to yesterday and what we can expect as we close out the week in about 2 minutes.
We begin with You Decide 2020 coverage. A Tulsa man is taking legal action. He showed up in one of President Trump's campaign ads days before the election. Fox 23's Scott Martin is live explaining why the man says the ad painted a negative picture.
Yeah, Michelle, well, Brandon Wade says that ad was shot, or video of him was shot, when he was working on a documentary outside the BOK Center when the president held his rally here in Tulsa. He says that whoever shot the ad specifically found strong black men to get a message across. I'm Scott Martin, Fox 23 News.
A Tulsa area congressman says he hopes there will be more bipartisanship following this election. We told you voters re-elected Kevin Hern in Oklahoma's 1st congressional district. He says while the House and Senate are controlled by opposing parties, that doesn't mean they can't get some important work done.
I'm looking forward to that, closing the gap. I think more moderate voices will prevail. I'm not saying I'm more moderate voice, but I'm certainly about looking at solutions as opposed to constantly bickering on politics.
Congressman Hern says he believes both sides want to do more than just play to their idealistic base.
There's a new sheriff in town in Pawnee County. We told you Tuesday night voters elected Darren Varnell over current sheriff Mike Waters by more than 1,200 votes. Varnell has been chief of police in Jennings, Oklahoma. He told us he plans on adding more patrols. Varnell says he's also going to focus on designating money for equipment donations. He says crews need a better fleet and working computers in all the cars, and he's happy the race is over.
I've never been big into politics. It's just, to me, politics and law enforcement don't necessarily go hand in hand.
Sheriff Waters will hold the position until the end of the year. Varnell will transition into his new role January 3rd.
It's a case of all in the family with Owasso's Joanna Dossett winning the state Senate District 35 race. Not only did she flip the seat from red to blue, she's also joining her brother, State Senator J.J. Dossett.
We just flipped State Senate District 35.
That was Dossett talking about her win in District 35 at Tuesday's Democratic Watch Party at One Oak Field. We brought you live coverage as she beat her Republican opponent, Cheryl Baber, in a close race. Dossett is a teacher. She tells us she had to cut the celebration short Tuesday night because Wednesday was a school day. She says she's proud to represent the people of District 35.
It is my honor to represent you, and I will work doggedly to make you proud.
Dossett will resign as a teacher before she's sworn in as a senator, where she says she hopes to bring positive change to public education in Oklahoma, healthcare, and our state's incarceration rates.
A local 18-year-old girl is receiving hate comments on social media after she posted she voted for Donald Trump. One person wrote, "I hope you kill yourself." Her mom says her daughter cried after seeing the responses. We blurred out the names to protect people's identities. Here are some of the comments. Despite the hate, some people supported her. We talked with a psychologist who says people should be able to post their opinions.
People need to realize that unless this is a person pretty intimately involved in their life and they're good friends, or they've been family members for a while and are interested in really understanding their viewpoint, they don't have to stay friends with them. yeah, a lot of young people have a lot of friends on social media that they don't know.
The college freshman from Tulsa acknowledged the hate comments in a separate Facebook post, writing, "This wasn't only the first year I had the right to vote, but now it's the first year I'm being told to kill myself." She went on to say, in part, "I don't have a problem with people saying that they don't believe in what I do, but I do have a problem with people telling me to kill myself."
Just awful.
Yeah.
Just horrible.
There's no room for that.
No,
ever.
Absolutely not. How sad. Her first time to vote, you have to think she was so excited to do that, and then to get that kind of hate. And just, where's everybody's manners? It's disgusting.
I know. It's just, yeah,
Awful.
it's like, just be good to people.
Horrible.
Yeah.
4:36, let's take a look at the latest coronavirus numbers here in Oklahoma. The state health department reported more than 1,200 new cases yesterday. We're now at more than 127,000 cases since March. 17 more Oklahomans have died of the virus. That puts us at nearly 1,400 deaths now since the pandemic started. There are nearly 16,000 active cases statewide. More than 2,400 of them are in Tulsa County. Hospitalizations in Oklahoma are at an all-time high, with 1,055 people in the hospital diagnosed with COVID-19 or symptoms. 337 of them are in the ICU. The latest numbers from the state health department show right now there are only 63 ICU beds available statewide.
Broken Arrow leaders said no again to a mask mandate in the city. Fox 23's Naomi Kidd is live at Broken Arrow City Hall with the reason they doubled down despite an increase in cases.
Ron, the majority of city council members here in Broken Arrow said that they wanted people to choose to wear a mask for themselves. I'll have that part of the story for you at 5. Reporting live in Broken Arrow, covering news that matters, I'm Naomi Kitt, Fox 23 News.
A highly respected Tulsa police officer will be laid to rest today. We told you last week when 40-year-old Jared Lindsay died from complications of COVID-19.
He joined the Tulsa Police Department in 2005 as a patrol officer. Most recently, he was the chairman of the board for the Tulsa Fraternal Order of Police and vice president of the Oklahoma Fraternal Order of Police.
His funeral is today at 2 at Victory Church in South Tulsa. At 4:39 happening today, you'll find a new direct flight out of Tulsa. Here is a look. Actually, we don't have a look, but we will show you live. We'll take you to the airport coming up later this morning. American Airlines will launch its new nonstop flight from Tulsa to Phoenix. The first flight is scheduled to leave Tulsa at 6 a.m., and we will be there live for the big celebration in just a little more than an hour. 53 degrees, temperatures nice and mild. Man, the sunset last night was gorgeous, wasn't it?
Yeah, so nice.
We had a beautiful sunrise yesterday morning, a beautiful sunset last night. Meteorologist Michael Sagers in the Fox 23 Severe Weather Center. Hopefully we'll get that again today, Michael.
Yeah, we will enjoy a nice sunrise this week with the time of a cold front in about 10 minutes.
Right now, 4:41 is the time.
I just imagine the worst case scenario. If he got the coronavirus, he has several risk factors that mean it could be really bad for him.
Nursing homes throughout Oklahoma are at risk of closing. Why the pandemic is making the situation even worse.
It doesn't bother me if somebody comes in and kicks in my front door and absolutely demolishes my house. This hunt will happen for Adam.
A man wants to help the young man he helped raise as a child, the gift he wanted to give him that was stolen. Investigators discussing human remains they believe are linked to the 1921 race massacre, what they say their next steps are to identify them.
This, I think, is the moment when we'll finally resolve some of the suppression. You know, it will be an event unsuppressible after this.
We told you last month researchers found a dozen bodies in their search for graves from the 1921 race massacre. Now investigators are laying out what's next. Fox 23's Amanda Harry is live at Oaklawn Cemetery, hearing what investigators found particularly interesting.
Ron, the first...
At 4:46, we're remembering Will Rogers. During the week, he would have turned 114. William Penn Adair Rogers was born in 1879 in what is now Oologah.
This is video from the Will Rogers Museum in Claremore. Rogers got his start in show business as a trick roper in a Wild West circus in South Africa.
Isn't that nuts? A Cherokee citizen, he was a popular American stage and film actor, a vaudeville performer, cowboy, humorist, newspaper columnist, and earned the name Oklahoma's favorite son. His life came to a tragic end in 1935 in a plane crash in Alaska. He was just 55 years old. Broken Arrow announced it'll host a sensory-sensitive day in the Rose District during the holidays. It's planned November 30th. It's designed to give people with autism or similar situations a chance to enjoy the festivities. The city says the music will be played lower and the ice rink will be reserved for those taking part. Santa will also be there to take pictures with children. Only on Fox 23, a Collinsville man is planning to make a dream come true for a 19-year-old. Jonathan Fisher is taking his friend Adam Johnson on a hunting trip later this month, and he planned to give Adam a knife with special meaning.
Fisher says Adam has faced several hardships, including cerebral palsy.
He's lived majority of his life in metal shoes and braces and wheelchairs and crutches. And he quite literally hasn't been able to get out and do what other boys do. He always has to sit on the sidelines and watch. I'm not going to let that happen.
He planned to give Adam a knife that was made from the first buck he ever shot, but someone broke in and stole it.
He says he is still planning to take Adam hunting when rifle season starts on the 21st, but he's hoping someone sees this story and they get that knife back. Gosh, I love it that he's still planning to take him hunting. I hate that someone broke in and stole that knife that had special meaning.
But get that back.
Yeah, but Adam's going to have a great time
when
deer season opens on the 21st. Temperatures this morning, nice and mild. We are going to enjoy another great day. Mother Nature, it seems like she gets stuck in a pattern. You know, like last week, she was in a crummy mood, obviously, last week. She's feeling great this week.
That's right. Much better mood this week. Meteorologist Michael Sager is tracking another nice start out there. A little bit warmer than we were yesterday at this time.
Yeah, not too bad. And the cool down as we go into next week.
4:51, a wild chase all over Tulsa in a stolen truck. We're talking with investigators about why they continued with this chase in midday traffic. A Tulsa family now one big step closer to adopting. Just how much money they raised through a gender reveal to help another family grow.
Tulsa area families now have access to free or reduced price internet service thanks to federal CARES Act money. We first told you in August about the Connect to Compete program. Qualified families who sign up by the end of the year are hooked up with a free router and more than a year of internet service. To sign up or learn more, visit tulsaresponds.org. Eye care experts say Oklahoma optometrists performed more than 350 free exams last month.
Doctors gave free exams as part of Giving Sight Day. Officials say more than $32,000 worth of frames and lenses were donated to patients who would otherwise not be able to afford them.
The State Association of Optometric Physicians says it plans to make it an annual event and to expand the program to serve more people.
The Salvation Army is already making plans to help families in need this holiday season.
Donations made to the Red Kettles across Green Country to help families in need with things like rent, utilities, food, toys for the holidays.
This year, though, they're offering a virtual option where you can sign up to host an online Red Kettle.
Right now, 4:55 is the time a man from our area is suing the president. Why he says he shouldn't have been used in a campaign ad. Masks optional. The reason city councilors in Broken Arrow say they voted down a mask mandate again, despite a rise in coronavirus cases.